In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Today, I'm going to say nice things to you and not call you smelly or a bitch. And welcome to another episode of the GeniusBrainPodcast. How's everybody doing? I think you guys are having a lovely week. If you're taking us with you on your commute, well, thank you.
Welcome, mother asses.
I'm David So.
I'm Joe Jitsukawa. And today we have, again, a special guest, Cris Sosa.
What up? What it do?
Yo, so we got this really fucking funny topic. So I checked my Instagram, and we were talking about it earlier, where our buddy Vince sent me this clip of this dude dressing up in this colorful poncho in Boyle Heights of all fucking places.
Yeah,
Damn.
and he has a mustache and a sombrero. And I guess he was doing like a Mexican skit, right?
Yeah.
And he's getting called out for it. And let's watch this video, guys. Can we do it like on live?
Just put it on. I want to see it.
Okay. So just play it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the first part. Now, I'm going to try to like put it in the mic so everyone can hear.
It's funny? This is funny? Give me the camera. Give me the camera. Please. Dude, don't fucking touch me, dude. Dude, don't touch me.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get back, dude.
Please.
Get back, it's not worth it.
Please.
It's a white girl.
Okay, that's it, we're leaving. We're leaving, dude. Let's get at it.
And it's like a
One more time.
Persian looking guy.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. You want to dress like that? You think it's funny? It is funny. Yeah,
It is funny.
Dude, get the back up. Hold this. Dude, it's not. I'm not here to disrespect you, dude.
But you literally did. It is funny.
I'm not here to fucking disrespect. Dude, trust me. Dude, I'm not here to fucking disrespect you. I'm not fucking funny. I'm spreading a good message.
I'm spreading a good message.
A sombrero, a fake mustache, and a poncho.
Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. I'm not leaving with that.
Oh, she said that with such lack of confidence, dude.
Man, I'm not leaving.
No.
All right, that was video 1. Okay, here's video 2.
Talk about it. Yeah, I'm the animal. I'm the one going to fucking people. Disrespect. You're an animal. You can't talk.
So basically, they're standing there, and he's like, "What? You're an animal?" Like the guy in the poncho's like, "You're an animal. You can't talk about it." And
No.
then the
don't wanna talk
Mexican
about
guy's like, "Well, yeah, I'm the animal. I'm over here disrespecting a whole culture or whatever." Anyways, yeah, man, this is crazy. So I don't know, like maybe you could. I don't know if we could put the video on or whatever, but I'm just gonna explain. If you can't see for the people that are listening, apparently this guy is Egyptian.
Okay.
And he was like, no, it's cool. I'm Egyptian. It's
All
like,
right. You're still not Mexican, dumb fuck.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then his girlfriend's white. And then so like, obviously Mexicans didn't like it that he was standing there in a poncho. They're like, yo, get the fuck out of here. And out of all places, man, Boyle Heights, you don't fuck around in the hood, man.
Yeah.
That's the barrio, man. Like,
Yeah.
and I think it's just weird nowadays because like with all the gentrification and all these people moving into LA, like they just do not fucking understand how shit
Right.
will go bad here.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it is real. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
like dudes get shot, dudes get beat up, stabbed, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just you don't want to go there and disrespect a group of people that will throw down. Like it's
Yeah.
not fucking Santa Monica. Like this ain't you don't fuck around in
Right.
certain places.
And I feel like in that area too, things are already kind of sensitive because their area is getting gentrified, right? So they're seeing like all the stuff they loved as a kid disappear and go away.
Yeah.
And they see a bunch of flanneled and checker shirts come in with their fucking expensive coffee and their mustaches.
Yeah.
And they see their childhood going away, and then you have these guys or this Egyptian man.
He thought he had a pass, man. He thought he had a pass.
He thought it was cool. He goes, "I'm Egyptian. I basically look Mexican."
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
bro, it doesn't really work like that.
Hey, just
Right.
because your people made the Sphinx does not make it okay. Just because you look Mexican too, it's like, hey, I'm one of you guys. No, you're not, dude. Like, if
Yeah.
I went down there rolling with the poncho, I think first of all they'd laugh at me because I'd look ridiculous.
Yeah.
But also, just the whole YouTube shit, right? Like. People doing it for clout, people doing it to make it.
Yeah,
like
see-
they get it. They think, oh, well, you guys are doing a fucking skit here.
Right, right. This is like basically y'all y'all mocking. Y'all mocking us in our city, right in front of us. You think we're just gonna sit here and watch y'all? Like, be like, oh yeah, can I be a part of the sketch? Like, it's just it's. I
mean,
weird.
at least have some Mexicans with you.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
like, have your Mexican homies, you know what I mean, with you to be like, hey, nah, dog, he's cool, dog. He's cool. Hey, that's my Egyptian homie, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, chale, fool, leave him alone and shit. Fuck it, eh?
Yeah. At least, or if you're gonna do that shit at your crib.
Yeah.
Your message, you're saying you got a good message for it, whatever.
What's the message?
Yeah, what I don't know what
He's
message
spreading
you could
positivity, dude.
Yeah, but like, bro, just do it at your crib, man, to where you're in your own, personal space. You can still wear your poncho. Like, just let people make those decisions on comments. So you're safe. It's still a piece of shit thing. See, my thing is like wearing that's like me wearing what is it? Kimono or
something like that. Yeah, like traditional Asian stuff.
Yeah, traditional. And then if I was making a skit, and I was making a skit about it. So am I like there's just a line of like what's gonna be funny and then what's gonna be racist. You know what I'm saying? Like why didn't I cast somebody who's Asian? Well, because this is my page and I'm the comedian and I want to play this role to portray this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or be
and
funny.
I actually have no problems with that. Like if you made a skit, right? And like we had this one skit where we're like slanging tea. Right. And then we have one of our black buddies that comes in and he's like buying tea from us and we're like acting all hood, but we're wearing like traditional Chinese clothes or like, I have Cholo characters that I played a lot of different characters back in the day. Yeah. So like my Cholo characters are Asians that grew up in like Mexico and stuff. And then so they have that like what's up, vato? Like that kind of East LA kind of style.
Yeah.
And you're right though, if you do it like in a setting that's like you're not doing it outdoors, like fucking with people. I think I don't know what this is about, but it looks like they're outdoors fucking with the community.
Yeah,
like pranks and shit.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I don't know.
It's not a prank to go to a blood city, a blood street. And wearing all blue bandana, let's all everything blue, a whole blue unit. And thinking like, all right, bro, so we're on a blood street right now, Pyrus. And we got on blue. Let's check it out. You know what I'm saying? And they're just like crip walking down the whole, like, if I can make it from this stop sign to this stop sign, it'll be $100, bro.
You know what? You just gave me a great video idea. Thank you.
That would be fucking hilarious.
I'm doing that tomorrow, dude. What's up, cut? Like,
you just got to make it from one stop sign to the other.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Dude, that would be hilarious. And then they get shot up and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, every time I see like these pranks, like I said, I always pray, just please one of them die. I just want one of them to die. I just want it to happen once. I just want somebody to get shot. Just be like, man, I fucking told you so.
Yeah.
Because then some people would be scared of it, but nobody has really faced those consequences.
You have to give like a neutral reaction to like, fuck.
I know.
Yeah. I love how this fool thought he was like a martyr. Like he's doing something great for the society. Like he's like some fucking like hero. Like this is for positivity, man. And he's like blaming the guys. Like, so you can't blame the guy for being offended that you're fucking with his culture. Like you're like, why you gotta be an animal and try to fight me for it? It's like, man, what the fuck are you saying?
Right.
That's like if I went to the South and I walked around, called all these black people N-word, and then they get mad at me, and it's like, whoa. And I'm like, wait,
hey, man,
hold on.
you're being an animal right now.
And I'm like,
that shit would have went down.
Yeah,
nah,
bro.
dude, like I deserve to get my ass beat at that point.
Yeah.
Like there's always a line, right? Some people believe like you should never be violent no matter what. I don't fucking believe that shit. If you provoke someone enough and then you're just being a complete dipshit, maybe you should get your ass beat. And that's what I believe in.
Yeah, some people do need a couple ass whoopings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to straighten up, to be like, oh, maybe that was fucked up.
His
Because it's like,
funny now.
if you go up to a fucking lion, right, and you poke that motherfucker with a stick all day, you deserve to get bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Facts.
I like his girlfriend because she was not down. She was like, she went, I'm not leaving without him. It's like, could your voice have shook any more than that, you dumb bitch?
So let's talk about their channel. So you said it was what? Dan and
it's like stupid and bitch or something like
it
that.
was like, okay, Chemo and Danny, David did a good job finding their fucking Instagram page. I mean, their YouTube page, and then they just do like pranks or whatever. It's like clout chasing shit. Like we tried being homeless in Dubai. Indonesian villagers try rapping Drake songs. Whatever.
Here's the hard part. I think Tim actually explained this really well. He was talking about the whole situation where a bunch of YouTubers, they do a lot of crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
And they gain a lot of attention for it. After a while, they just stop being human because they don't know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
Because fucks with them.
Because they're trying to create any type of story, any type of fervor on a daily basis.
Right.
So they don't know what those boundaries are anymore. Even sometimes too, like when we're out, like, so Tim does this one thing now where he just goes, before he vlogs, he goes, hey, vlog warning. And he says that just to let people know if they don't want to participate in this, they don't have to. But prior to that, he probably didn't do it. But now he knows, like, oh, not everybody wants to be in this type of world.
Right.
And so it's a very odd thing where sometimes when you have to create content every day, these kids, they just don't understand what's acceptable.
That's
and
like
what's
going
not.
live. Like, you gotta let people know, like, hey, I'm going live.
Yeah.
Because there's so we can just be talking. We can be talking shit about somebody, or you can be talking shit about of something that you wouldn't want people. Like, you're comfortable around your friends, and you got one person on live, and now they hear Joe in the background talking this shit, and you're like, fuck, bro. Like, you know,
that's happened to us within our circle of friends, man.
Yeah, man. Like, that live thing is serious, bro. You know,
that shit happened.
You just gotta call it out too, like, hey, I'm vlogging, so then people know, oh shit, watch out.
Right.
That's happened with, like, fucking when Kodak was talking his shit about fucking Nipsey's wife.
Oh, bro.
That boy, that shit was so fucking crazy.
Oh man, yeah, you shouldn't have like that conversation. I can see the conversation happening behind closed doors.
Exactly, behind closed doors.
With your homies, you're talking dumb shit. Because obviously it's dumb shit. Let's get that out the way. That you're saying some ignorant shit.
Yeah.
But the fact that you got the camera on and it's his live, I would assume, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro.
The funny thing was when he wanted to squash the whole thing, and I think he went on his Instagram live and he was like, yo, well, this is what it is. He's like, you know, I was giving her a compliment. Like,
he tried cleaning it up.
Stupid,
yeah.
He's just dumb.
So check this out. This is what his girlfriend said, right? So she sent a DM to this dude, and then she's like, so she says, by the way, my family and I are immigrants, and we only came to the States from Eastern Europe like 10 years ago and are not rich and privileged as all racist people think. So crazy. Only the USA has such big degree of racism. The rest of the world doesn't like this. All I want is to end that in this country as well. Maybe the approach sucked. Then we will learn from this. But at least Chemo and I are willing to put ourselves out there and try. Most people just talk and complain about it, but never act on it. One day when you travel and see the world and experience different people and cultures, you will realize cultural appropriation is only a problem in the USA. And if we keep approaching it and racism with hate, blah, blah, blah. You know what's crazy is this bitch has no fucking idea what the American experience is all about. Obviously, cultural appropriation is a sensitive topic in the US because we had racism and we had one group that was very powerful.
Yeah.
And they would, you know, like, for example, like, you know, incarcerate people for no fucking reason if they wanted to or whatever.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't understand race relationships in the U.S. Of course, it's going to be sensitive.
This country is literally made off of appropriation.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the word we used? Gentrification?
Cultural appropriation.
Appropriation.
Yeah, appropriate. That's like a culture vulture.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So she's like, why? And she's right too, because like in Japan, they love it when foreigners come and wear kimonos and dress up in the costumes and play all that shit because it's tourism and they don't have the past hurt.
Right.
But out here in the US, if people are pretending to be Asian and they fuck around and do their eyes shit and then they wear like ching chong clothes or whatever the fuck and then they act around, it feels different. But if they're out in Asia doing it, it's not that weird.
And so her response is fucking stupid too, because she goes, well, that's not how it is at the rest of the world. So if you're so well traveled, right, then you should understand that every time you go to a country, everybody has a different set of rules. And if you're respectful in that country of their set of rules, why can't you do the same over here then? So what is the change that you're trying to invoke here, right? So for example, if she went into my house, right, and then she didn't want to take off her shoes because she goes, in my house, I didn't. I don't give a fuck. Take off your fucking shoes off in my house. I'll slice your feet off.
Yeah.
How about that, bitch?
Yeah.
You know, but so it doesn't. Her logic doesn't make sense. So
it's kind of what do you call it, egotistical too.
Yeah.
So she's like, once you fucking travel, you'll understand. Motherfucker, you're talking to like sometimes people from
Can't
the
afford
hood.
it.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck? And then you're saying we're not as privileged. It's like, obviously you don't understand that some people just can't afford to travel or see the world and understand outside of their city. Like that makes you, that is what privilege is. Like you're blind to seeing that some people just can't do that.
Right. And if you're trying to like spread a positive message, okay, and this is let's say you're trying to do a message for Korea. You're not gonna for your video, you're not gonna dress in a Korean outfit and then say your message.
Yeah.
You can actually still be yourself or be any other character.
That's true.
And spread your positive message. You don't
That's
have
so
to be
funny.
in a poncho, a fake ass, like curly ass mustache that curls at the ends, and a poncho, like or a sombrero.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? To spread your message. For what? What was that
Yeah,
for? What was that purpose?
That's a good question. What the fuck was the message? Is what
I don't
I'm trying
know.
to figure out.
What is this positivity?
Yeah.
I don't even watch this bullshit, but
Yeah.
it happens so many with so many fucking YouTubers do this bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
It's about time people get checked for their bullshit.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. And then how the entitlement, like how people think that it's like, man, I'm doing this fucking message for good.
See,
People
that's
need
what
to hear
the
this
internet,
shit.
the internet, social media, and everything. It allows people to be their own celebrity.
Yeah.
So now,
My fans need me.
Yeah, my fans need me. I'm doing this for the world. I'm trying to spread this, and I'm trying to change this. And that. You actually need to learn your position.
Yeah.
And play that role. And then, once you continue being that role, you progress, and then you'll end up being the person that you want to be. But right now, you need to stay in your place, and be in that. You know what I mean? Stay in your pocket, because you're stepping over boundaries. You're going into cities, you can get hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going
So
to.
I'm saying, I pray to God somebody gets hurt. I'm praying, dude. I bet you God's confused sometimes. He's just like, why do you keep praying about this, dude? I'm like, God, you got to understand, man. Like, just kill one of them. Yeah, I mean, we got to make sacrificial
That's David's
lambs.
prayer.
we
to be
fucking
clear.
funny.
That's David's prayer.
That's also Chris's prayer, Lord.
YouTubers die from trying to prank.
Come on, man. Yeah, it's bad. You know what I mean? Like and my thing is this, like, and this is coming from a comedian standpoint. I don't know if I'm speaking for all comedians. Well, I would say, but at what point? Because I'm trying to play devil's advocate, which she's trying to do a positive message, but I'm talking about comedy. At what point is something just funny?
Yeah.
Instead of everybody being offended, which everybody has a right to be offended.
Yeah.
But now you ask, okay, LGBT crew, okay, we know that it's this is offensive, this is offensive, this is okay. What is funny to you? What is your line that so that I can play with it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
can I pretend to be gay?
Right, exactly. Like let me know. And if y'all can't give me a joke that like, or y'all can't tell me something that I can't, then I should be able to be free. Because you don't even have, you don't even know what's offensive or not. If you can't tell me what's going to be funny.
Yeah.
And
know what I'm
not
saying?
everyone agrees too.
Yeah.
Like, I think I actually don't mind the whole cultural humor shit. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
hilarious. Like,
yeah.
you could be black and you wear a poncho, and you
Right.
could be white and pretend that you're Asian or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like when it's for the sake of comedy,
Yeah.
it might be bad taste, but like it might be outdated. Because what, a 50-year-old white dude might like look at something very different than a
Right.
12-year-old white kid, right?
Right.
Like they might find other shit funny.
Right.
And I know that there's a lot of outdated racist jokes out there
Right.
that old folks still think is really funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I mean, that's their shit, right? It's all fun and games in their world.
Right.
But when does that become hurtful and dangerous to
Right.
society?
Exactly.
And then I think at the end of the day, like when it comes to comedy, I'm okay with a lot of this shit. Like
Yeah.
it's all good fun.
It's
But
it's
when
intent.
you
Right.
take it out of the studio, when you take it out of the comedy club and you take it into the real world and you're fucking with regular citizens,
Right.
pranking them, doing all that shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not cool with.
Right.
Man.
It's because
Yeah.
they're not a part of the joke.
It's not,
Boom.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it
Yeah.
is, bro.
Yeah.
They're not mic'd up, which some prank videos are faking up to where they are mic'd, but like people, they're not a part of it. They're not, this is not their culture. This is not their
Yeah.
world. They're not in the internet. They're just walking down the street and
Exactly.
you doing some dumb shit and you want us to act like, you know, like you want to be funny. So I agree with what you're saying. Like outside of the comedy row, outside of the comedy club, or outside of
or the movies or the TV or whatever,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That
And then
makes
if you
total
do
sense.
these cultural jokes, I mean,
Know your history.
You can
Know your-
you
what
can
you know,
upset
yeah.
a lot of people. You could
Right.
fuck up in a like. But we were talking about this earlier. Like if you can nail the accent, and if
Right.
you do if you do the cultural jokes really well, and you do inside jokes, like you'll actually be appreciated
Yeah.
for that. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like, yo, thanks for putting us on, man. That was hilarious.
Yep.
It's that race card is so hard too. I feel like, you know, the younger that we are, or the group age really matters, because now it's just everybody's trying to be pissed because it's cool to be pissed.
Yes,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, it's cool to
Hell
be
yeah.
angry about everything. It's like,
Exactly.
well, when the fuck can we laugh about shit then, right?
Right.
Because at this point now, it's a trendy thing to be mad. It's like, yo, you can't. It's more you can't say this now all the time.
Yeah.
And some people are telling me what I can and can't say about my own culture. It's like, yo, this
Yeah.
is my shit.
Yeah.
I
But-
grew up with
But
this.
are they your culture?
Probably not. Exactly.
I love that shit. That's my favorite shit, dude.
Damn, bro.
I like
that's
it when
hella
other people
offensive.
fight for me. Like,
I'm
and
good
then
with
they-
it.
and then I'm like, nah, I don't need that.
Yeah,
Just shut up.
Yeah, bro. It's just, you're right, bro. People just like to be offended.
Yeah.
They want to be like, yo, this shit ain't right. This shit, like, they just want to have the power of that opinion of like, I'm offended right now.
Yeah.
This offended me. You know what I mean?
It's something about I don't know what it is, but a lot of people just don't back up what they're doing either. Like they
Yeah.
just want that retweet, they want that like, they want to be a
Yep.
part of that group so
Bro,
fucking
I've
bad.
had somebody roast me in a comment, and you know, and I've learned through All Def, because they actually have a show called Roast Me, and so the following of All Def, all the followers and fans, all stuff, they roast just naturally because that's kind of the thing. Like,
Yeah.
so they'll roast Doughboy, they'll roast me, and they'll get me heavy. You know what I'm saying? And so I got used to it. So when people actually started trolling me on my content on my page, and it's not All Def, they're actually like straight up roasting me, like
Yeah.
you know, hating. They actually like, I'll respond. Rarely I'll just do one little respond, whatever, just a slight one, and they'll be like, "Oh, bro, I didn't know you were gonna respond. I'm a fan." I'm like, "Bro, you."
That shit always happens. They're
it's
just
always
trying
like
to get a reaction.
They just want a reaction,
Yeah.
bro. They're like, "Oh, bro, your shit's hella funny, bro." Like, and I'm like, "Come on, fam."
Sometimes
Like-
I think they are just trying to be. They really think they're funny.
Yeah.
They're just not
Mad
funny
funny.
at all.
Yeah,
They're just being stupid.
yeah,
I always tell people like just telling someone "fuck you" is not funny. Like
yeah,
that's not funny.
Right.
That's
yeah.
The people, even adults, are like, yo. So I had this situation recently where, you know, I just heard through a couple of people. And I tweeted this shit recently. So this dude, I heard from a couple of friends who texted me. They're like, yo, did you and this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, like have some problems or some shit? I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? He said, well, he's been telling me that when he saw you, like you were acting like an asshole, and he said some shit to your face, and he said that you didn't say anything, and he was just like fucking sizing you up and whatever. I'm like, that didn't happen. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I got like 2 or 3 texts from different people, and I'm like,
so this guy was spreading shit saying that he talked big. He's talking about war stories. to his
yeah,
friends.
and I'm like, wait, what? I was like, I did see him recently, and I remember like I was just kind of like joking with him, and he's kind of he's like an acquaintance, right?
Yeah.
But you know, like sometimes we just fucking rag on each other, right? And
Yeah.
so I said some shit to him, and then we were all laughing it off. But he walked away. I guess he mumbled some shit, and
Yeah.
he walked away. And I guess whatever he mumbled, he turned that into me saying some shit to him, and then I just shut up and I didn't say anything back to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, why are you going around telling people this story individually? I thought it was like within
He
a
took his mumble, and to himself, he was like, "Yeah, I told him."
That's exactly what it was.
he said under his breath, "Yeah,
I
I
started
like to see
getting-
you try."
Yeah. So I started getting really irritated only because the story wasn't true, right? And so I assumed that they were all kicking it without me or whatever, because this is like back in Sacramento.
Yeah.
They're all kicking it without me or some shit. And he just told us why he was drunk or something, right? But no, he was like telling people individually the same story over and over and over. I'm like, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, right?
Yeah.
So I literally texted him. I was like, so you were talking shit to me? I didn't say anything? Right? Question mark?
Yeah.
Right? And he was like, oh, no, that's not what I said, man. Like, well, I was like,
What a little bitch.
and I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
bro.
cool. Well, because I'm going back to Sacramento in like a month. I was like, well, I'll see you when I come back, and we'll have a conversation about it then, right?
Yeah.
Not as a threatening him, but I just want to know why you
Yeah,
did
yeah.
this.
Do you
He
wanna-
was probably sweating bricks. He was like marking off every day from the calendar the day that David comes back. You know, he's all like sweating and shit.
Because I want to know
Right.
what his problem is with me. Because
Yeah.
like I saw you once, we were pretty cordial. Like number one, if you thought that I was going too in on you, you could have just been like, hey man, chill. I'm like,
Right.
oh shit, my bad.
Right.
Because that's how we grew up. We just always rag on each other. If you were being sensitive about that shit, then you should have let me know, because
Yeah.
he was like clowning on me too. So it was whatever.
Right.
I just might have one upped him a little harder, you know. But whatever he did, he mumbled some shit and he kind of just was peacocking to people. And I'm like, why do this? Like even adults do this shit. This motherfucker's 35 years old.
Yeah.
Like, what the
You
fuck are
hurt his
doing?
feelings, David. That's what happened.
Yeah, bro.
It's so weird when I see a 35-year-old do that shit. I'm like, dog, you're a fucking grown ass man.
Yeah,
dude. Like, what are
man.
you doing?
I would run away from that kind of friend. That's why I don't have that many friends.
I know. He's like an acquaintance friend, you know what I mean? Like one of those type of things. But he's like, I've known him long enough where if he's in town, I'll say what's up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was so fucking odd.
There's some people that like they don't really just how they were raised or what they've done, like just growing up, whatever. But it's like they don't understand the social cues of like, this is probably gonna come back around to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like some people like to tell stories and they'll embellish it. They'll like add extra shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then he pulled out a knife and I was like, oh really, bro?
Yeah.
You gonna pull a knife out to a gunfight? So I pulled out my gun. You know? And then just start talking all this shit to where
They're like, yo, it was a fucking grocery bag. What are you talking about?
yeah, bro. The where
Lying
they-
sack of shit.
Yeah. So like my thing is like, especially like being in the comedy world, it's such a small ass world, like in the comedy, like doing stand up.
Yeah.
Like I'm more than likely going to see this comedian again.
For sure.
So there's no point in saying his set was trash. There's no point in saying he's not funny or like talking shit about comedian. It's going to come back.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is like, oh, and I do this for anybody. Like the safest thing to do is to speak to somebody if they're not in the room as if they were in the room.
Yeah.
That's the best way you could do it.
Here's my thing,
even if you are gonna talk shit, you can
I
still
talk shit all day.
You can
And I'm
talk
like, if it comes
shit.
back to me, fuck you, I'll fucking kill you. I don't care.
Yo, my thing was this. I used to always say this. So
Fuck y'all, fucking kill you.
yeah, even in high school, I used to say this shit. I always say this: if I'm gonna talk shit to your face,
Yeah.
I'm saying the same shit behind your back. So just know that I keep the same energy here and also there.
Right.
So if I
True.
said that shit behind your face and you came up to me and you're like, I heard you talking shit, I was like, yup.
Yeah.
I was talking mad shit about
Right,
you.
right.
Because
Yeah.
I hate you.
But
Yeah.
I don't think
That's what I'm
anyone
saying.
does that. Like if they heard that I talk shit, they go, "Oh, really?" And then they get their feelings hurt. I think that's what really happens.
You know what's fucked up? Because like we
damn.
were,
no one steps up to me. No one goes like, "Hey, I heard you were talking shit."
I was like, I
You
don't.
got hands, Joe. They don't know that.
I don't got hands.
Look
I
at
got
your
teeth.
posture, bro. This is a posture for somebody who has hands. This is
No
confidence,
socks and
right?
jeans.
Both of y'all, it's like
I'm 2 seconds away from levitating. You don't even know. Yo, so like, what was I about to say? But fucking, okay, I fucking forgot, dude. I forgot. My mind just went blank real quick. I just picked my nose and I forgot.
You got punched too much today.
No, I got hit in the head too fucking
No,
much.
it's definitely funny, man. Like a lot of people, I guess, are kind of two-faced, like in the real world.
Yeah.
I just don't understand because I'm not surrounded by that. But I do remember, like, before I had my solid group of friends that I do right now,
Yeah.
it was constantly like weird shit going on.
Yeah.
But like, thankfully, I was in a world where like if you had shit, you just kind of fight.
And then you squash it after.
Yeah, it's not like Two-Face. And then I started hanging out with some rich kids, and that world is totally, it's
Yeah.
so fake, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not all rich people are this way, but it's just my experience of like how kids do it. Well, not kids, we're like in high school and early college and stuff, but the way that they do it is more mental and emotional, and then
Yeah.
like they pull strings. It's like a drama.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, I don't want to be around this.
And
like,
they all just kind of get it too. Like it's
Yeah.
all just an undertone of like we're talking shit, but we know that this is the shit between us. And if we want to mix it with this, and it's just that it's a fucking game that they
Yeah.
play, and it's just like
I'm also somebody who's weird too in the sense of like, if somebody talks shit about something that I do, right, I'm okay with it as long as they know who they are, right? So what I mean by that is, if let's say I do a film, right?
Yeah.
And then somebody who makes terrible films go, hey man, I don't think your acting was great in this. I'm like, you don't say shit to me.
Oh, that's offensive.
You fucking garbage
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
if they made mad films, it's like,
you
thank
say whatever you
Yeah.
want, I'll take those notes and I'll become better. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So like, so I did this thing recently where, you know, there was a show where I take shots and we're drinking, and they kind of chopped it up a little bit in a way I didn't like, because it made me sound like I was talking shit about Brendan Schaub, but I'm not. So they asked me like, who's a comedian that you just don't think their stand up is that funny?
Yeah.
I was being honest. I was like, well, like they kind of took out the part where I said I like Brendan Schaub a lot and I'm rooting for him, but I saw his last special and I didn't like it, right? And I just felt that it was too early for him to have an hour special because he only started doing stand up like 2-3 years ago.
Gotcha.
So, I just felt like it wasn't that great, but Joe Rogan backs him up a lot. So I feel like it just seems like he's catering. Nothing was special for me. It didn't make me crack up. So I didn't like it much.
Yeah.
But it sounded like I was saying he was hot trash.
Like cut all of that and you just said, I didn't crack up.
Yeah. I was like, no, that's not what I was saying, man. Like what I was saying was that he has the ability to be really good because I'm sure he works his shit.
You better clear it up because he could fuck you up, man.
I know, dude.
I
Anyway,
saw him too. He's fucking tall. When I went to go see Theo, I was like, damn, you're a tall motherfucker.
Yeah, so that wasn't even the case. I was like, oh man, I feel like that was gonna come and bite me in the ass later. But I'll just tell him, like, if he asks me, well, you don't like my special, which he won't for sure, because I'm a nobody compared to him. I would just be like, well, I didn't like it, but I'm allowed not to like it because I wasn't watching as a comic. I'm watching as somebody who likes to watch stand up.
Right.
I'm saying as an audience member, I just didn't think it was that funny.
Right.
And albeit he might come up to me, he goes, you know what? Nothing you do is funny. I'm like, you're entitled to that
I don't
opinion.
think I don't think that's really talking shit because you're not talking about
Talking
his
shit
character.
is what he should have done. That's where it would have been talking shit.
Yeah.
Like you're like, it's not funny, but if you would have done this or you would have done this.
Yeah, because
or
I'm not in that position to say that.
Yeah.
I just thought
You just said you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I just thought it was
not my style.
It was too early for him to have an hour special. It just didn't feel as developed. I thought he could have. It just felt like I was waiting for the punchline, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, to me, what I said was that I think Joe Rogan is like a big catalyst for him.
Yeah.
And he works really hard.
Yeah.
But maybe he just needed to work it a little better.
But that's tricky though, because if you have a wave and your wave is fucking
you gotta catch that
going,
shit.
yeah, you have to stay on it. Because for him, I guess he might have been on a wave and
Yeah, for sure.
and build towards like he got this special deal. You know what I mean? Where it's like, fuck, I could play the smart game and be patient and be like, oh, let me
catch this wave.
Let me do more comedy clubs, But if you wanted to get that money and that check, I gotta stay on it.
And I think mentally too, I'm a little fucked up.
But then that's where you need a team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm a little fucked up too because I'm also comparing him to Joe Rogan and Theo Von. And those are the people that he rolls with.
Right.
And they're funny
And they're
as hell.
fucking funny. So maybe I expect
You're going off of their credits saying like, well, Joe Rogan and Theo, they're backing you. So it's like
you must be up at their level.
You put the expectation on them.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it is too.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I mean, he's selling out shows, so people find him fucking funny.
Right.
So, who am I to say shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another thing too, because there's so many specials on Netflix.
Ugh.
You'll watch them, you'll be like, "What? How the fuck did they
I don't
get
even
this?"
watch stand-up anymore,
But the
man.
thing is that they have their own following.
Yeah.
They have that theater is sold out for a reason.
Somebody
you know what I'm
finds it funny.
saying? They all found it funny, and that's what I learned from Kev on Stage. Is that this is like I'm trying to like copy his blueprint, which he tells all the homies, he's like, bro, just post content. It does not matter if you think it's trash, you think it's funny.
Somebody finds it funny.
Somebody will find it funny. He said that there's somebody out in the world that likes black licorice.
True.
And so
And they're all
I don't
Swedish.
even know how.
They're
And that-
Swedish. I'll let you know right now.
and that-
They're Swedish.
Swedish
And
people like black
With that being
licorice?
said, post it, bro. Post it. You know what I mean? Because we're our worst critics. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is
sure.
gonna be trash. This is gonna be, you know what I mean? So
I
it's
just don't
like-
even make content, man. I post it all, but I don't even make it.
You know what it is?
You
It's
skip that too. You're just like, fuck it.
Stand-up's such a tricky thing too, because
Yeah.
it's like I think the hardest thing is most people who when they try to do stand-up, because I've been doing stand-up since I was 16, right? So just as young as I could, I tried it out. And then recently I took a fat break to do film. But there's this thing of we kind of hold things a little too precious, right? So we're just like, oh, that might be funny, but you have to go up on stage and work it to make it funny.
Yeah.
Because that's the hard part, right? You have to be willing to bomb this joke to figure out what's wrong with it, to rework it.
Yeah,
And a lot of
bro.
people have that weird fear. They're like, oh, what if I bomb? Well, good. Then take that joke and say, wasn't funny, move it out.
Right.
You know, because what if you thought your set was fucking perfect, you didn't try it out, and you went up there and you fucking bombed?
Oh, hell yeah, bro. I've had my worst bomb was in Houston, where that's my hometown, where I'm from. So my worst bomb, I was actually I got to go on a weekend with Afion Crockett.
Oh, shit, that's dope.
Yeah. So Afion, he saw me in North Hollywood at the Ha Ha Comedy Club, and he saw me do my thing. I had a great show, and this was like my first year in comedy. And so,
Oh shit, that was fucking brand new.
yeah, brand new, but I just had a solid set. You know what I'm saying? To where Afion was like, bro, you're funny. You know what I mean? And then also with being in theater and stuff, I had a confidence being on stage and in front of people. So even if something wasn't as funny, I could still play with it and play along to where people liked, they were entertained.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So anyway, Afion, I saw that he was going to Houston, so I hit him up on Twitter like, hey man, I'm from Houston. I can bring people out, whatever. And so he got me the weekend and stuff. So he gave me an opening spot, and I think it was the Friday night. I do 5 minutes, and it was okay, right? It was all right.
Yeah.
And so the second show, 'cause it was 2 shows Friday. The second show, he was just like, hey man, are you good, man? I know you're funny. It's all it happens. He gave me his bomb story and make me feel better. And then so the second show on Friday, I do it again, and again it's still it's not what he saw in North Hollywood.
Was it the same set or
Same set? No, same set. It just still wasn't.
It didn't
going.
work with the same crowd.
Yeah. And the audience, it was more of an older audience and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hard part, bro.
Yeah, and I'm only 19, so it's just like, how can we
Connect.
What's your
the
life
connection?
experience that you're talking to me about?
Right. And I'm saying nothing that has anything. I'm talking about like turning up and the definition of turn up, and it's an older crowd. Like they don't, you know what I mean? So he was just like, hey, I'll tell you what, come back. I might have gotten this. This actually happened on the Thursday night show because he told me to skip Friday. He said, come back on Saturday with the bigger show. So I think that's what happened. And I was just like, no, I got it. Like, because he gave me the whole weekend. I was like, no, just let me come back Friday. Let me do it Friday type of thing. He was like, all right, but I'm telling you, bro, I think it'd be better if you do Saturday.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bigger crowd. You'll have a lot more, freedom to have fun and stuff like that. I was like, no, I got you. Friday, I'm coming stronger. You know what I'm saying? So I go, and when I'm on the way back, I'm driving to the comedy club, I'm thinking of a joke that I'm like, oh, this is what I'm gonna open with. And it's a whole new joke that I've never even tried, bro.
Chris, no.
Never even tried it, but I just had this confidence of like, man, fuck that set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck that set yesterday. I'm
Doing something fresh.
I'm going to give them something fresh. I'm going to have fun with it. This is my city. I'm going to represent, like, all this shit. First joke, go on stage, bro. First joke, I'm talking about tanked.
Crickets.
Crickets, bro. You can hear the cooks in the back, the silverware being washed. It was
Like a Chinese guy in the back. Hey, shut the hell up.
Oh my gosh, it was.
You're not funny,
trash.
guy.
It was bad to where like Afion and the feature were watching from the side right by the green room, and you can hear them go. And I'm like, oh, and I gotta stay on there for 4 more long minutes. And so I get off stage, man, and he didn't give me the whole pep talk of like, it's all good. Like he just kind of stayed like chilling and checking menus.
I told you.
Yeah, I'm in my own little like.
Well, I'm gonna kill myself. And,
Bro, I got bumped because so it was a Friday because I got bumped off the rest of the weekend. Like they put another comedian on. Like I remember after Friday night we're all leaving and stuff, and I was just like, I told Avian, I was like, hey, but that Saturday though, like you said, that Saturday is gonna be bigger than. He'll just like, hey man, you did your thing, bro. I'm proud of you, and I know that you're funny, bro. But like,
you need more experience.
What you need to do is go back to LA and really work on your shit. This and that, and he'll just like, it's just as a business move, man. It's kind of hard for comedians to pick back up that energy when and he's like, I can't risk that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
at least he was honest with you.
Yeah. He did his thing. He was honest with me, and then so that following year he went back to Houston and brought me back. And
Oh, shit.
I was there
He gave
all
you another
weekend.
chance.
He gave me another chance, and I was there all shows.
And you did a good opener.
Yeah,
Because that's the hard part too. I think like what I found out, especially doing like these college shows, is that you got to look at the crowd. Like your set has to make these micro adjustments depending on who the crowd is.
The smallest ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, if I went out and then I'm used to doing like these like jokes about drinking and partying or whatever, and I look at the crowd, they're 56 years old, it's like, well, how can I make this funny to them?
Yeah, and it
Gotta
could be
talk about relationships.
Relationships, or it could be the smallest things of like, what was partying like back then, or
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Talk to a crowd that like a couple who's hella old, and
Yeah.
you know, asking them, well, how did y'all meet in the club, or how are y'all getting down? Because this is
Yeah.
how we get down, and
Exactly.
then boom, you go your set.
You got to make it relatable and set it up right.
Right.
So like even I know like when I go to these college shows, like I can't talk about too crazy shit because I feel like when sometimes like a younger crowd's a little sensitive, so they just haven't been scarred by the world enough yet. So when you say crazy shit, they're like, I can't believe you said that.
It hurts their feelings.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
gotta tune it down.
Yeah.
And then leave that shit for the
But
comedy
when
club.
we
and then-
first started doing college shows, like out in 08, 09, man,
Different
people
time.
were crazier.
yeah,
Got
different
you.
times.
I
dude.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would say all kinds of crazy shit. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's 10 years if you
I've
think
never
about
done
it.
colleges, bro. I've always wanted to. I think there's also NACA.
Yeah.
But I've never, been a part of that. I would love to. I feel like that's a whole different
It's
world.
fun though, man. It's real fun.
And it's
dude.
different when they know you already because you don't have to like have a set where people get to know you or you got to build that rapport. You just
Right.
go straight into it.
Yeah.
I heard that that's kind of how a lot of comics work now because they have the podcasts, so their audience is already coming.
Yeah.
So then at that point they have inside jokes and whatever, and they just play off of that shit.
Yep.
That's why, like, I watched a lot of these comics and I see the crowd cracking up. I don't know what's going on. It's because I'm not a fan of theirs, right? But they already know. And that's
Yeah.
the cool thing about stand-up, too. Like, once you start getting a name to yourself, you're not really catering to a new crowd. You're just kind of catering to whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So, like, I mean, not everybody's going to be a fucking Dave Chappelle.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I think that was the hardest thing for me when I was younger. I kept on idolizing these comics, and I'm like, if my set's not anywhere as good as theirs, I'm just not going to do it. Which sucks because it's just who you're comparing yourself to.
Yeah. That's
those
true.
are like those fucking dime a dozen human beings.
Yeah.
He's
He's like the Michael Jackson of freaking comedy right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
just watching his his last special on Netflix. I was like, yo, how the fuck did he get better? Like, I
Bro.
don't get this shit. Like, I don't understand how he got better.
he took a long hiatus and got buff.
And for him to go, he got buff on the. And another thing, whenever he was just like, I pulled this random joke out of a bag,
Yeah.
and he was just like, he said the joke, and then still. He told you how the joke's gonna go, said it, and hit the punchline, and still hit. Like, it still was funny.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Like, even like the way he carries his cockiness, it's not even so cocky where it's distasteful. It just makes you laugh.
Oh, that's
you know?
dope. That's the dopest thing, man. Eddie Murphy has that type of
Yeah.
swag. Eddie Murphy has that swag. Jimmy Fox has that swag. Jim Carrey does it well. Jim Carrey does he's obviously more comedic acting heavy now because
Yeah,
he
for
was
sure.
doing
Yeah,
stand up
sure, for
maybe
sure.
like one or two. But
But he was really good with act outs and
yeah,
physical comedy.
yes,
but,
bro.
yeah.
But he would play that cocky game, you know what I mean, on the interview shows and like late night shows and stuff like that, and it always worked, bro. That's what Ellen did on her last one, the relatable special.
Oh, really?
Killed it. Her first like 10-15 minutes was on some like cocky shit, but it was just funny, bro.
Yeah.
It was a solid ass special. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, stand-up's such a very interesting game because I feel like when I started acting, like people were asking me, yo, so how'd you feel about these auditions? Mind you, the first audition that I had, I was fucking nerve-wracked and everything. But after a while, like the thing that helped me kind of reel it in was nothing will be more nerve-wracking than stand-up. Like I don't think going into an audition with 3 people is ever going to be as nervous as me walking as a nobody comic trying to get in on the list just to do a 5-minute fucking set in front of like 60 drunk people.
Well, I would say that I think it's, I think maybe because on stage, I don't really care if all of them don't accept me. If I'm cool with just a small group like accepting and we're getting laughs, then I'll gravitate my energy towards them, or I can end up winning a crowd.
Yeah.
In an audition, I only have one shot to make these 3 people accept me and make sure I book it. So that's I guess maybe not nerve-wracking, but the stakes are higher in an audition.
Auditions to me,
Or what do y'all think?
You know what it is? It's like, but you got to realize too, like when you go into these auditions, at the end of the day, they know what they want. If you don't have it, you just don't have it.
I learned that at all day too.
I hate waiting.
I learned.
That's the worst thing for me. Not actually auditioning, but just sitting there for like hours and fucking hours, man.
Yeah.
Because
That drives me crazy.
It's not even the fact that a lot of the times is that these people are bad actors.
Yeah.
A lot of us are bad at auditioning. Auditioning is a skill.
Yeah.
right? Because you're trying to impress them in this small window and
And
this
that's
small
the
gap.
audition 101 class where you pay $800 for one deal to be like, when you walk in, don't shake their hand. It's a mind trick. And they do this whole thing, you know. But it's like you also have like I learned at All Def actually when they were doing their auditions for whatever hosting gig or whatever piece of content they were doing. They had auditions, and I was on the other end, and that's where I learned. Oh. Like whenever they're like, oh, this person was really good, but it's just not the look we're going for.
You know
like,
what you want already.
You already know what you want. So it's like
It's not anything on
it's
their
not
part.
on you at all.
Yeah.
So that helped with auditioning because it's just like I'm gonna go in there. If y'all want me, hey, I'll just get through these lines real quick and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Then
just
you'll
like
find one.
you already know what you want. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You feel that energy when they see that you know what you want.
Oh, for sure, dude.
They'll get out their chairs. They'll go to you to shake your head. Oh, hey, how you doing? You know, so were you waiting too long? They'll treat you differently.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
There was a casting director that's from Houston, and he was like, "Oh, you from Houston? Oh, what part?" And they was like wasting like 10, 15 minutes of talking about Houston.
Because they're bored too. They're seeing the same shit every day.
Yeah. And it was just on, and you know, I feel bad because I feel like I overstepped a whole bunch of people. But you know what?
Nah, man.
Build that connect.
Hey, man.
Yeah, be memorable.
Like
Yeah.
some of the best advice that I got, especially for auditioning, was like, you know, just be unapologetically yourself. Read the lines that you could read. If you get a redirect, have the skills enough to understand that redirect and smash it out the park.
Right.
But you can't not be yourself. And that's actually
Right.
the hardest part, is for people to do these lines in their own voice and your own interpretation to the best that you can.
Right.
And that's the hard part, right? So I think like because I got that advice early on, like I just said, fuck it, whatever, right? And so I remember when I was having these meetings with casting directors,
Yeah.
I didn't know what the fuck what a general meeting was. I just walked in, right? I just walked in and I walked in flip-flops and socks and basketball shorts and tank top. I came in and they're just like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
But the cool thing was when I had a conversation with them after, we would get drinks or whatever, I'm like, well, why are you, you know, just to be real, like, you know, why are you hitting me up to grab drinks or whatever? He's like,
Right.
well, because I remembered you. I was like, why'd you remember me? She goes, well, I've never had somebody come into a general meeting and treat me like they didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not that I didn't care. I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
She goes like, well, usually when people have general meetings, they do their hair up, they get a haircut, they look nice,
Really?
they present themselves.
So you impress them by being fucking nasty.
And that's so crazy too, because industry loves to be reminded of regular world things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of staying, because it gets exhausting, like you said. It's all day. They're how you do? Yeah. Just
Because
read the lines.
remember when
and-
we were pitching a show, we would go to all these fucking group like pitches, right?
Yeah.
And then the dude that brought us out there, he's a dope ass producer, and I mean he made the show fucking Smarter Than a Fifth Grader and shit
Okay.
like that, right?
Yeah.
So then we were pitching a reality show, like kind of like JK News, but like a twist with it. And we would go into like MTV and whatever and all these places. And then he was like, be completely yourself.
Yeah.
Dress as exactly as you would, but clean up a little bit. You know, you don't have to wear like a mustard stained shirt, but just be that. And we're like, cool. So I'll go in shorts, sandals, and fucking like a Hawaiian shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
Like we go in and we kill it. And every single time everyone's like, I love this like authenticity. It's dope. Everything,
Yeah.
this is what Hollywood's missing. Right.
Right.
And we get callbacks and shit, but it's like,
There's a lot of moving pieces to it, man. It's so hard, man.
yeah, the hard part is I think the turnaround. Like what I realized is that MTV might want you, right?
Right.
But like the sitting director might change in 3 months.
Yeah.
And then move to another company.
Yeah.
And then the marketing was like, so the person that I auditioned for before might have left 3
Yeah.
months ago.
Right.
So it's like the same company, but the people are constantly changing.
Yeah.
So you got to keep auditioning to the same company, and you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I thought I was in good.
Yeah.
And then they keep changing, like, what do you call it? Like goals. Like
Yeah.
they'll be like, oh, we're looking for an Asian group, or we're looking for this. We were trying to do this kind of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2 months later, they're like, nah, now we're going to work on films.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, stick to your shit, man.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. They probably have good reason for doing it. But
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I learned so much, man. The past like couple years working at a network. You know, those are things that are conversations that are being had. Like when something is pitched and they like the idea, or like, and then switching to a different angle, and it's all, and then people are left on like waiting lists or whatever. You know, seeing a whole vision board and everything, and then it's like, oh nah, we'll go this. You know, I've seen all these things happening and being in these rooms where I'm like, it makes total sense to where it takes off all the stress on me, because the only thing I can do is, like you said, be yourself and be the shit. Like at your lines, nail your shit, nail exactly what, put the work in, be yourself, and that's all you can do.
That's why I started hating like this rhetoric that was going on Twitter, specifically in our community, like Asian community, right?
Okay.
Like I understand that we have very poor representation in our films, right? I think the part that annoyed me, just to wrap back to the thought of know your place, is you can't talk about, well, I got into the audition, the reason why I didn't get it is because I was Asian. No, it's because you suck, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I know you personally, and you fucking suck.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. If
Yeah.
someone was good and like a good actor
Yeah.
and they didn't get it,
Right.
I'd be like, oh, that sucks. What's wrong with them? They didn't
Right.
choose you.
Right.
But a lot of the cases, man, the people that cry the most are the sorriest, and they didn't do their time to
Right.
practice.
Right.
And they make up shit like, oh,
Yeah.
it's because I'm Asian, I didn't get hired.
And that's the thing, because Gary Vee said that. He was like, if somebody successful looks like you, then there's no excuses.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they look just like, and they're millionaire, whatever, successful in your industry, and they look just like you, have same culture, everything, then there's no excuses to be bitching about, oh, well, it's because of this or it's because of this.
Oh, 100%, man.
You know what I mean?
Like-
Because there's the obvious racism that still is out there.
Yeah.
But there's still people who have broke those boundaries for us to follow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I always tell people like, look, man, if Bruce Lee was alive today, he would be still famous.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a legend, right? And
Yeah.
the only reason why is because he pioneered and changed so much.
Right.
Don't just be good.
Right.
Be someone that changes shit.
Yeah.
And then so like when a lot of
Wear a poncho, wear a sombrero.
Go out to Boyle Heights and fucking draw
Yeah.
that grease mustache on your face.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
not enough.
Hello?
It's not enough to be just a good actor.
Yeah.
Like you got to be good with networking. You got to be good with all kinds of shit, and you
Yeah.
got to have a different way of thinking that
Right.
changes shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think people don't understand that. Like, to be number one or to be somebody that's extraordinary, you really got to invent some shit and
Yeah.
be different and work like crazy.
You got to do extraordinary shit.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
Because I don't know anyone that's successful that was handed like, and even if they do for a short stint, they can't keep that fame or
Right.
they can't keep that success.
Right.
And so that's what people don't understand is like, man, your idea of hard work sometimes is not really hard work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just actually just working.
Yeah,
That's just
it's called
actually-
regular work.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I've seen people put in work, like they sleep 2 hours a day, like, I mean, like put in work,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh yeah, you deserve it, man. You deserve
Right.
all the riches. Like you fucking don't have any wife and you're sad as fuck and you work all day. It's like, yeah, but you're a millionaire. Yeah, you deserve those millions because you sacrificed so much for it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that goes with it, man.
Yeah,
Working.
it's just, but people, they think like peanuts, right? So they don't really understand what it takes to be the top. And I'm like, I don't want to be the top because I've seen what it took to be the top dog. And it's like, oh man, that kind of sucks.
I just want to find a lotto ticket and then I'm good, dude. I just want to start doing fun shit just for
Yeah.
fucking fun. Because right now I feel like we're in that space of we're still working for a paycheck, right? So imagine like being like Adam Sandler, who's just making films just to fucking
Bro.
make films,
Yo,
bro.
this new shit's kind of good. The one
Yeah.
on Netflix. Did you see that
Hey,
one?
man,
The
I
murder
saw-
mystery one. That was cool.
The one, the latest Adam Sandler movie I saw was Mr. Drexler. What was it? He's the producer.
Oh yeah,
He's an
yeah,
agent.
yeah.
He's an
Yeah.
agent.
It's like a true story about his actual
God,
agent.
bro. This dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like that one actually got me, bro. Like,
Man, that
really
would be
good.
fun if we just like make our own. See, I don't like auditioning, but I love telling stories and I like writing and creating characters, right?
Right.
So it just takes a lot of fucking money to make it happen.
Yup,
And,
100%.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. We'll get rich one day and start fucking around.
And that's the thing too. Like that's what's so dope about these like these Patreons and like GoFundMe's or stuff like that, to where you have people who actually believe your content, your personality, your
Yeah.
character, your brand, to where they'll help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's obviously we can't get in these rooms to ask for these loans and ask for these, you know, because that's all we're asking for. We're not asking for money to go do dumb shit, except
Yeah,
for David
yeah.
who needs that lottery ticket.
Oh,
To go
dude,
do fun shit.
I'm asking for some dumb shit right now.
But it's like we just trying to create some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we had this money, a budget to make these sketches or do these films or short films, that with all these different characters, we'd be doing it right now.
Yep.
But we don't have the money. That's the
Yep.
only thing.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, That's the end of this podcast.
Yep.
That was pretty fucking good.
That was pretty good.
Shit went through like nothing.
Yeah.
You like that?
Well, that was real quick. Thanks
All
for
right,
coming
y'all.
on the show, Chris.
Appreciate it,
Where
man.
can they find you at?
Y'all can find me on all platforms. Cristino Sosa, no H, just Cristino. Hit me on my Instagram, man. Follow your boy. It's popping over there.
All right.
And then you guys can catch us on iTunes, Spotify, CastBox, whatever you can find an audio platform. We're there. If you're on iTunes, make sure you give us that 5-star because we fucking need it. I'm sucking dick for a living. So just to let you guys know, my lips are chapped and my fucking throat's tired. So help me out. All right, y'all. See y'all next week.
All right, y'all.
We want to make a film.